given the fact that you've got 2 women for every 1 man completing a 4-year US college degree by 2030, you've got women out earning men in their 20s as well. What have you learned about navigating, even if he is professionally successful on his own, there is a odd sort of turning of the polarity in some ways. What advice have you got for guys and girls that are trying to date or be married in a situation where part of the power dynamic has changed a little bit more?
Again, I think it goes back to basic respect in who you are when you leave your jobs at the door, and that you do need to leave your work at the door. I think that you should be, for women, you should be looking for a man who can provide not just like, oh, he can buy me all the fancy things that, I want and whatever, that he can emotionally provide and that he's stable. I also think women are less willing these days, and this sounds bad, maybe you have a better way to say it, but like a man in progress.
Under construction.
Under construction, yes. And there's all of those stats about, women mature faster than men. And so if you're marrying or dating somebody around your age, it's quite common for a woman to be a little bit ahead, even just maturity-wise. And so I think have grace and understanding and, pick somebody who is ambitious and who is willing to take big swings for you. And for men, be willing to show that. Like if there's a type of woman, again, that you want, it's like, what can you do to get to that level? Even if you're not there yet, that shouldn't stop you. It's like, be willing, be bold at a young age when you don't have any other responsibilities. You don't have to live in a certain place. You're not having to provide for a family yet. Like what risks, calculated risks can you take for a major, major payoff? What can you do to set yourself up for success? Like this is the time to, start a business, be bold. Don't just be like the cog in the machine. If you want something more, like that's the time to do it, and then prove to this woman or this partner, if it's, if you're a girl, that that you have those abilities, I guess, and that ambition.
That's what a lot of women, I think, are signaling off is a man's capacity for growth.
Yeah.
If that wasn't the case, why would the starving artist guitarist that sleeps on his friend's couch be attractive?
Yeah.
Well, the reason that he's attractive is that he's kind of like a penny stock, but I see his talent and I see his artistic ability. And, the ruthless thing, I think, for professionally successful women is that same talent is not valued by guys.
Yeah.
But she might become a really successful businesswoman in future. It's like, the 21-year-old barista from Starbucks that's a bit more agreeable and emotionally stable wins every time. So I think, educating guys and girls on what the other side is looking for.
Yes.
I've been talking a lot about women cultivating receptiveness.
So that's so good. Yep.
So, in sort of the aristocracy era in Britain, ladies would drop a handkerchief in front of a man that they sort of wanted to come. It's like, look, I know that you might have approach anxiety and are kind of stupid. Like, here's the least subtle cue that I can give.
Again, going back to, we don't know how to do it, men and women. Like, I remember my mom called up one of my friends who was just having a hell of a time dating. And this is one of the reasons, it's one of the stories that I tell where men are like, women don't want us. There's no good women. I'm like, they're my friends. They're out there. They also don't know what they're doing. And
have you considered doing a matchmaking service?
I would love to. I don't know how to do it, but we're thinking about it. Putting something together. I actually really started thinking about that when Jordan came to Bridgestone here. And I had all of these young people coming up to me because all of the Daily Wire folks went. And so we were walking through Bridgestone. And so all of these young people, I was like, there are thousands of you here. All of you young men in your Jordan Peterson suits and all of these girls here, I know that you're single. I was like, how can I get you to meet? I was like, oh my gosh, you're here in this one opportunity. Please go find each other.
Yep.
Oh gosh, where was I going with that?
Your friend that was having a nightmare.
My mom called her and said, you need to, like, do you know how to flirt? Do you know how to, because she was like, no, but like, I go on these dates and they don't kiss me and or like they don't move forward. He doesn't text me after, like, what am I doing? And again, she's super cute. She's really smart, comes from a great family, great values, very agreeable, but we learned
that
on dates, on dates, she would just like sit at the opposite like end of the table, don't touch, nothing. And she was like, well, I don't want to be promiscuous. My mom was like, it is not promiscuous to brush his shoulder, to like, oh, scoot over a little closer. Don't sit on the opposite end of the table. If he's trying to show you on your phone, go over to the other side of the table and sit next to him. Like, why? She was like, oh, I'm so scared. I didn't know that's what
Chicks
I had
need to
do.
learn Kino escalation. They should have done some pickup artistry.
Yes. So yeah, again, it's on both sides. There's a lot to learn. The handkerchief one is great. And also what you said about, the agreeable barista at Starbucks, if she makes eye contact, if she's sweet, if she flirts, if she shows a genuine interest in you, like that's what men are going to be interested in. Not the girl boss who's so focused on like, oh, I've, made this much money and I've done this and I'm getting my bag. I was going to be like, ooh, that's
scary, intimidating.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, in a post-Me Too world as well, I think it's important for girls to realize that if no meant no previously, anything that isn't a fuck yeah is a run away from me as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So, there's still a like carryover, latent carryover from why men love bitches, treat him like you don't like him, that world of playing hard to get.
Yeah.
But playing hard to get now from a girl to a guy, for the guy, is just perceived as
oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is a headline waiting to happen.
Yes.
So I think everyone just re-centering their expectations
correct
is probably a really good place to start.